Right. Before we even start, let me take a moment to acknowledge that the ESG conversation is plagued by jargon and acronyms and buzzwords and marketing speak. So there is definitely a lot of noise out there. Over the next few minutes, we're going to cut through all of that and really get to the nub of ESG, stewardship and responsible investment with a specific focus on what these actually mean for everyday investors. Let's just start with ESG. It's just an acronym. It stands for environmental, social and governance. It's typically used to refer to factors that we would traditionally consider to be non-financial in nature, but which we know can have real financial implications for businesses. Think of it a bit like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, you want that seed to grow and to bear fruit. But it wouldn't make much sense for you to focus all of your energy and attention on the seed itself and then ignore things like the soil in which you plant it or neglect to water it. Because in that case, no matter how impressive your seed is on paper, it's not going to grow. So similarly, when we're investing in companies, it's only prudent for us to ensure that we understand the broad range of variables that can impact that company's ability to grow and to generate return. So we need to understand how a company affects and is affected by things like the natural environment, fluctuating social dynamics, and of course, governance. It's a case of looking beyond the balance sheet and into the real world impact. Now, the simple fact is that companies that understand this and that factor in material ESG issues into their business strategies, they tend to outperform those that don't. As investors, that means that we want to ensure that the companies we choose to back are those which understand and respond appropriately to ESG risks and opportunities. And they need to do this not as a once-off exercise, but consistently. And that's where stewardship comes in. Now, to steward something is to take care of it on behalf of someone else. As a long-term investor, we are stewards of our clients' hard-earned savings. So it's our responsibility to ensure that we do everything that we can to protect those while they're in our care. In this context, stewardship involves engaging with the companies in which we invest to ensure that these companies are consistently identifying and appropriately managing ESG risks and opportunities. We make sure that they're taking into account these issues today so that we don't end up paying for the consequences of neglect later. And this approach is what we refer to as responsible investment. So when we strip out all the fads and the buzzwords and the jargon and the noise, it's very clear that for us, ESG is simply about good long-term investing. And that's it. It's that simple. There's no fancy acronyms, there's no jargon, there's no hidden agenda, and there's definitely no compromise on return. It's simply a systemic view on investments and a commitment from us as stewards of your wealth to do everything we can to maximize sustainability and resilience across our portfolio. Because we understand that every decision we make has real consequences for real people who have to live in the real world, and that matters. Through responsible investment, we ensure that our clients are able to fully enjoy their hard-earned wealth, not only today, but for generations to come.